B-A-K-I-N-G, B-A-D bear, B-A-K-I-N-G, Bacon bear, B-A-K-I-N-G, it's Bacon Bear.
Oh yeah.
I tried to do like a quick scat, but then I couldn't get the words out of my mouth quick enough.
It sounded great. You
Yeah,
improved
don't put
it.
yourself down. Yeah.
Do
And now
either of
everyone
you think
knows.
you'd be good at rapping?
Yeah.
Yeah? You spit hot bars?
I feel I'd be good at freestyling, not rapping.
Like a rap battle?
Yeah, just off the top of my dome. I think I'd be good in that case. But if I had to sit down and write a whole album, yeah, I'd struggle.
Yeah. You don't feel like you have anything to say?
No, I don't. But I could take someone down in a battle.
Yeah, I like it. That's
And
kind of energy.
8 Mile.
8 Mile style.
What is like the 8 Mile of Slough, Sean?
What is the 8 Mile of 8 Mile? What do you mean?
Well, like 8 Mile is an area in Detroit.
Oh, Britwell, maybe?
Slough got a mention in this episode of
did.
Bake Off.
It did.
But
I was so excited by that.
We'll come to that later.
I'm very
welcome to.
Yep, I was confused as you lot were. Don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's another episode of Bacon Bad. It's Japanese week.
Oh yeah, I like this week. This was good. A lot of colours.
Yeah, a lot of matcha.
Green.
Something different.
Anime.
I am sorry that Thingy isn't in it, as we mentioned last week.
Yeah.
Because she would have.
She would have nailed that challenge.
She'd have done like a Pokedex.
Like a working Pokedex.
With different cakes.
Did
anybody bring... sorry, how are we going to say?
No, go on. Did anyone bring any snacks?
Did anyone bring any snacks?
I did not.
No,
did you, Sean?
No, I didn't, but I had sushi for the first time last night in preparation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, tell us. Yeah, how was sushi?
Oh, it was great. I got out of my class quite late last night at like 8:45. And if you
I thought you were talking about your social class, and that's what you were.
Yeah, I actually seized the means of production last night.
Sorry.
No, so my class let out like 8:45, and here's a trick for all of our listeners. If you go to, I can't remember what it's called.
Itsu?
No, is it Itsu? Wasabi.
Sorry. Yeah,
if you go there the hour before, half price everything.
How much did you pay for a packet of sushi?
Yeah, how much was your haul?
My haul it was actually quite dear in the end. I kind of got carried away with the half price thing. So it was like £7 ended up spending. So 14 quid's worth of sushi.
14 quid's worth of sushi? So what did you get? Walk us through it.
I got the vegan sushi, which is just kind of 12 of exactly the same things, just again and again, which was like tofu, avocado, and pepper. And like after you've had one, you've had them all. And then I also got, I don't know a better way of describing it, like a Japanese samosa, where it's kind of like a rice instead of like a curry filling. It had like rice and some veg in the middle. It was lush. So I enjoyed the samosa. Not too keen on sushi.
That was almost like a California roll, I suppose, that with the avocado in it. Is that am I right in saying that, Harry?
I don't know. Harry, you're the resident sushi expert.
I think a California roll is got tuna in it. Okay.
But it has avocado on it. Is that not what makes it California?
Oh.
Look, California, baby.
It's a sushi roll rolled inside out containing cucumber crab or imitation crab and avocado. Yeah, so you were right.
There you go.
Crab and av.
I don't think... So, I'll tell you what, Sean, I don't think I have ever eaten sushi.
Really?
You never have?
It's alright. Like, it's not great.
I don't like fish.
Well, I didn't have fish. I had the vegan one.
Yeah, I have the veggie one.
Yeah, but I see
Just
that's
avocado and rice, isn't it? With
yeah,
a bit of mayo.
That feels like a bit of a cop out. Feels like a bit of a cop out. So I haven't. Well, I have brought a treat this week.
Have you? Oh, what have you got?
Yeah, I've spoken about them a lot.
Pop-Tarts.
They're
These
not
are
Japanese.
some American ones.
Uh-huh.
That's why Pamela, my greyhound, is sticking around me at the moment, is because I keep giving her Pop-Tarts when she shouldn't. But these are Mexican chocolate churro ones in honor of Rastanan's eclairs last week.
Oh, nice.
So,
how are they? Describe it to us. Can you?
It looks like.
And are you going raw?
Yeah, I don't heat them up.
What?
Oh,
it's a Pop-Tart without the pop.
Yeah.
Cinnamony, chocolate, sugar. That seems to be the main ingredients.
So, how many stars would you give that one?
Oh, 6.
It's very
6,
synthetic. Yeah. I give it a 4 out of 6.
It's 2 out of 3. 60%.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2-1. Yeah.
Very good.
Right? Well, yeah.
So it's Japanese week.
The first, so we went in and we had a little bit about mango as a joke.
Manga. Did you enjoy that?
It was fine, wasn't it? Good props. I'd say good props.
Didn't even notice it.
But then they were making steamed buns.
Yeah. And I thought before Dave started this, I was like, I'm looking forward to a bit of freedom, a bit of fun in the tent.
Yeah.
It's like, it's your sort of just sourpuss energy that brings the tent energy down. Anyway, everyone's just having a great time.
I actually like Dave. I think he might be my favourite one.
What? You've come full circle.
Because he's an odd guy, you know? You can never work him out, and I like
Every week you learn something new, as we did this week.
I think what we thought about him in week 1 is it stands, but it also doesn't, you know? He's a different guy than I thought he was going to be.
He's developed.
He's an oddball.
He is a bit of an oddball.
And I like it.
The other thing I wanted to address before, I saw Prue's in the news again this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
She's leaving the Tory party.
Because of food standards.
Food standards.
No chlorinated chicken for Prue.
Yeah. No. She's like, leave the kids to starve, fine by me, but I am not having my chacon chlorinated.
Oh, what a woman. I don't know, wherever it takes. I don't know, have we got a demographic sort of our listeners? Do we have many Conservative voters? So I need to be careful about what I'm saying.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, because Ross represents like the right wing of our audience.
Yeah. You know, what they lose in Prue, they're gaining tenfold in my militia.
Proud boy Ross Drummond. I'm just joking, by the way, just in case. I know.
No, kicked out of the Proud Boys.
So they're making steamed buns. I love a steamed bun, I've got to say. Usually
Me too.
a pork belly
Delicious
bun.
Love it. Yeah.
It looks fun, doesn't it?
Have you never had a steamed bun, Sean?
No, I don't think so, but it looks nice. I think it's something I'd really like.
Yeah. Steamed buns, delicious. I think in steamed buns I've had, because they obviously, I wonder if there's a difference, just my ignorance really, the difference between a Japanese steamed bun and a Chinese steamed bun. Because I know in China, the steamed buns they're very white. And then the reason they're white is because they actually bleach the flour, which is what makes them so, which is illegal in the UK. Prue, for example, wouldn't stand for that.
She wouldn't.
But yeah, so I was excited about this, but what I would say is, as we go through each of these, I got increasingly annoyed. Because first off, we had Dave, and he did these chicken-shaped katsu curry buns.
Yeah.
So that to me, I was like, yeah,
Fits
katsu
the brief.
curry. He's been to Wagamama's. He knows, I'll do this solid.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, to be fair to him, I'd say they're the best looking of the bunch.
Big time.
Great colours.
Yeah, very yellow.
Neat, I think, was some of the feedback. Very neat.
Very bold.
Tastes nice. Could use a bit more curry.
I like a katsu curry.
Yeah, they said in the intro that it's a Western inspired Japanese dish, and I feel like that makes sense. It's like Japanese people being like, what do Westerners like? Oh, we'll just deep fry a bit of chicken and put a really sweet sauce on it.
It is it's the tikka masala of Japanese.
And it works. It works. It's worked
we fall
on
for
me
it every
anyway.
single time. Yeah, 100%. I go into Wagamama's, I point at one thing in the menu. Katsu curry.
Well, I go in and they have one look at me and they just bring me a katsu without even asking.
We go. Straight to the counter, mate. It's waiting for you.
And I sit down in my England shirt and dig in. Knife and fork, please.
Yeah.
We've already got it.
Yeah. No. Can I
Got
get
any ketchup? So that's what Dave made.
Yep.
And then Peter made a Chinese lamb stir fry.
Right. Here's the start of my annoyance.
Okay. I'm actually think I'm going to be on board here.
Yeah.
Everyone was making Chinese food.
Yeah. So,
Japanese week.
Japanese week. Oh, it's Chinese food in it. And then somebody else at one point puts just fucking curry in it. That's not even, what?
Same continent.
Yeah. It's like, I can't think of another example, but it's just ridiculous. It'd be like putting it's Mexican week, doing a burrito, and then just doing like ham, egg, and chips in it. It'd be like, it's Mexican because it's a wrap. No. So, yeah. Beautifully aromatic, though, is lamb steam mince.
Yeah,
but very little dough.
He messed up the dough, didn't he? It was too thin and flat. He did actually flop it. I feel like it's getting to... Not that Peter was bad this week, but I feel like maybe the potential everyone was expecting as him being like a sort of front runner throughout hasn't really materialized yet.
And at the end of this round, when he didn't do very well, he actually was a little cocky for my liking. He was like, I usually do well on the technical challenge. And I thought...
Yes, if you've watched the show before, technical doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You win that and you get sent home.
Never a true word said.
Seen it happen. So we had Laura.
Chinese again.
Piggy pork belly buns.
Yeah, and the meat was tough and dry.
Mm-hmm.
Was the feedback.
The flavors were wonderful, but it needed more sticky sauce. Now, Laura, who was star baker last week, instantly came in with a rough week.
Oh, terrible.
And then we had Mark.
Mark with a C made a Daal.
Now, is, for me, is capital M, small m, small m, small m, small m.
This one
right?
had the problem.
Yeah.
This is another thing I had a problem with.
Yeah,
they called it Mark's capital H M M M M, which is like they didn't know what it tasted like.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I thought that I actually in my notes just wrote it differently because I was like, they've made a mistake there.
Yeah, and then because I thought, they've made a mistake there at the start, but then on this they just carried on. It's like, oh shit, we can't afford to get the illustration people that we do to do the drawings to redo that bit, so we've got to double down on it.
Yeah, and then he made massive basketball-looking dumplings,
Halloween-esque, bright orange
pumpkins.
Yeah,
I thought they looked great.
They did look good, but they just were massive.
Also, what was the? Sorry to get back to the name, but was it a pun on something? The Daal.
No, he said when his daughter made this doll, they all took a bite and we all went, mmm. Like, that's delicious.
Oh, okay.
None of them went, which is what they wrote on the screen.
They did say they taste great.
Yeah.
They look
It
great.
had lentil and apple and paprika in it.
Yeah.
So again, nowhere near Japan for those flavors.
Nowhere close. Hungary paprika's from, isn't it? And then Mark with the first of the two burgers, Mark with a K. And we got a big reveal of the episode. Paul Hollywood doesn't like pickles.
Doesn't like pickles. How do you two feel about it? I know how one of you feels.
I love pickles. I think. Look, here's my thoughts on pickles. I feel like there's not a lot of ways you can get an acidic balance to a meal in Western cuisine, and a pickle is one of them.
A pickle is bringing harmony to the dish. I would say this. A gherkin in a burger, I'll eat it. I'm never going to be like, ugh. But I'm not one of these people that's like drinking pickle juice out the jar and sticking their fork in and cornichons and all that shit. When the dish, as you said there, Harry, when the dish requires it, it offsets, creates a balance, a certain je ne sais pas, je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
Bite of kebab, bite of the pickled chili.
Delicious.
That's a dream meal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not for Paul Hollywood, though. I feel like it's such like a childish view as well. But no, I just don't like pickles.
I'm going to say, like, as a kid, I definitely took the gherkins out. And I think didn't Noel at one point say to him, was like, you were a judge on a food show.
Yeah, at least just pretend you like them for the show,
Like,
you know?
You have to just be like, oh, I don't like these, but I understand that what that adds to the flavor, the palate. Like,
he did that with Matcha. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we later found out that he didn't like Matcha, and he's happy noshing that down this episode. Oh, God,
child boy, man child.
Well, Mark's the first, and his honestly looked a bit lackluster, I would say. But they said they taste good, right? Yeah, they taste good, they said.
Solid. There was a bit of banter between Lottie and Mark during this little cutscene as well that I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, big banter.
Yeah, they were all like back and forth because Noel was like, oh, don't worry about Lottie. You're the better baker.
Yeah.
And then she heard it and they were like, ha 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 ha. It was good.
Yeah. The banter is fully kicked into gear now.
Yeah.
And that's what Bake Off's all about.
Yeah, exactly. It should be called the Great British Banter Off. That's what they should call it.
That's what I do call it privately.
Yeah. You watched Banter Off this week. And then we did have Lottie. So she had cheeseburger steamed buns.
And they looked better. They looked more like... And even though it's not Japanese flavour, I feel like this is the kind of thing you'd see on TV.
Yeah, it's like, it's
being done in Japan.
A bit crazy. This is different. We haven't seen this before in the West.
Yeah.
And
she steamed her meat. She didn't pre-cook it. And it turned out very dry. Like having a dry burger.
Which I would say up until about 2006 was any burger you ever got in the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. And then the burger wave came.
Yeah.
Gourmet Burger Kitchen, first ones.
Byron.
Oh, yeah.
Honest Burger.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Burger history.
But pre that, dry.
Burger King.
When you get you order the burger at the pub, but it's like the meat is fine, but like it's all just
just raw onion,
a
hunk of tomato, and a little bit of iceberg.
Yeah,
no, thank
disgusting.
you. But Lottie's seemed quite nice, just a bit dry.
Yeah, she did a decent job. And then lastly, we had
Ermine.
finally a bit of Japan.
Yeah,
Pandas.
chicken Nikuman panda buns.
Yeah.
Had shiitake mushrooms in there.
Oh yeah.
Give me Japanese flavors. Read the instructions.
Full of flavour. Could have been neater, but flavour very good is what I've written there.
I'll take flavour over neatness any day.
Would you?
She did a good job. I think Paul described her as the most consistent baker.
I wrote here as well. At this point, I thought, do you think Hermione's like a dark horse? Is she gonna pull it out of the bag?
And you know what? She's doing the Baking Bad. She's followed the Baking Bad school of Bake Off.
Mm-hmm.
She's all the rest of them have been up and down, all of them have been near the bottom, and all of them have pretty much 1-star baker by now. She's just been
straight down the middle, baby.
In the finale, she'll make a baguette and win the lot.
I call this the French stick cake.
Imagine the final showstopper was who can make the longest baguette.
I would love that. Like if it just turned into like man versus food for the final. It's like man versus food week.
Yeah.
Poor Hollywood has to eat it. Just see how much you can get through.
Each baker has their own tent now just to make the biggest. Love it.
And then we had the technical challenge.
Yeah.
Matcha crepe cake. What did you think of this?
I thought it looked like a big M&M, a big green M&M.
It looked like
from the outside
something you'd see in a top-down Instagram video with no words, just like a stock music soundtrack.
Oh yeah, where it's like, here's how to make this thing
tasty.
And it's like 7 cups of this and 3 cups of that.
And no one will ever make it because it's very odd.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it would taste that nice. I'm not a big matcha fan, but it doesn't look that appealing anyway.
I think I don't mind matcha. I'm going to... Excuse me, sneeze on the podcast. I apologize.
Bless you.
We're socially distanced.
You don't like it?
You're talking about matcha.
Or you've never had it?
I think I don't mind it. I think it can taste kind of vanilla-y. Am I right in saying that?
I don't know. I've had matcha once, and I didn't like it, but I think it was a poor matcha.
I think if you have it with vanilla, it just, to me, it doesn't really taste of much. It's more of just like it's green. It makes everything green. Is like.
So we could all say we've all met our matcha.
Heyo!
Yeah, that's comedy. Come on.
First proper joke of the podcast.
But yeah, Laura hated matcha. She was like, "Oh, I might as well go eat grass."
Yeah,
I think is what she said at one point. And at the end, when somebody else talked about matcha, she was like, "Ooh, if I wanted to eat a big green swamp, I just would," or something like that. She was just absolutely tearing matcha a new one.
She was having a bad week, and even up till towards the end of the showstopper, it seemed like she really thought she was going home.
Yeah. But yeah, so this matcha crepe thing, I mean, I think I'd quite like to try one.
Yeah, I kind of would as well.
No one.
I don't know if I'd make one.
To make one.
One thing I did notice, they had to make these really thin crepes. Yeah. But the pan they were given to make the crepe, they had to flip them. That didn't seem conducive to a good flipping action.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, when you want like the big frying pan and you get the lip, the vert, to use like a skating term, like if you were like spinning up to do a 900 on the side of your pan.
Which I am normally.
Yeah. You use that lip to get the motion to give it to pop the ollie that's going to do the flip,
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't have that. So I thought, and you could see them, some of them were using
really fiddly.
Yeah, some of them were using like a dough cutter to scrape it off. I did notice Mark with a C's batter, it looked so thick. It could look like a dough.
He was making Yorkshire puddings.
Green Yorkshire puddings.
So that's what you meant, right? I've just made a roast dinner.
Yeah, these are these are crepes, because who knows what they actually are. Yeah.
So the order, what happened? Laura came last.
Laura. Yeah, so Laura came 7th. Mark came 6th. Mark with a C6. Mark with a K 5th. Ermine was 4th. 3rd was Dave. 2nd was Lottie. 1st was Peter. Afterwards, Peter said during this bit he went game, set, matcha at one point, which
he's got to go. He's got to go.
People love him.
To know.
Every time I like try and just be like, oh, he's a bit of a too goody two shoes. Everyone's like, no, he's so sweet, he's so funny. I think he's got serial killer written all over him.
Wow.
Accountant teaches the youth badminton. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's all these red flags. The next thing you know, the shuttlecock cutter, they're going to call him.
The shuttlecock cutter.
Yeah. And because he revealed today that shuttlecocks, they only use the left. The left.
Yeah. Goose. Is it goose?
The goose.
Swan.
Yeah, goose. Yeah. Geese feather. And then you know what they use the right one for? That's what he uses to strike his victims down.
I didn't know people felt that strongly about.
No, everyone loves him.
Well, maybe they should make their own podcast.
I've had feedback from people that listen to this podcast that are like, why are you guys so harsh on Peter? We love him. He's so nice. And I was like, no.
Oh, I think
Look
I've
at
got
those tired eyes.
Posh Scottish people. I've just got a chip on my shoulder about.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Oh, well.
So, yeah.
That was that. As we know, the technical doesn't really count.
Doesn't count for shit.
And then we had the showstopper.
Yeah.
They had to make a Kawaii Cake. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which means cute in Japanese.
Yeah, all things cute and charming, inspired by Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, I love this showstopper. I thought it was a good one.
I thought it was great. And what I don't know if any of you ever watched it. There was a series where Paul Hollywood went traveling early in the year. And one episode, he did go to Japan.
Okay.
And he went around Japan and he met like lots of very, like, imagine just sort of cool people in Japan, but people that Paul Hollywood never, ever, ever wanted to hang out with. I think he met like this kind of like gay influencer. And then he met this Australian guy that was cross-dressed. I don't think he was trans or anything, but he was a cross-dresser, and like went to karaoke bars with him and like did all this mad stuff. And then they also did a bit where he you can hire those like go-karts to drive around Tokyo and pretend you're in Mario Kart.
I didn't know that, no.
That's a thing. And he did that. So
it sounds like someone who actually knows cool stuff about Japan organised it, and then they sent Paul Hollywood, who just probably went into...
Yeah. They're like, shit, who should we have do this? But yeah,
he just kept trying to order katsu curry everywhere.
Have you got a Sahi beer? So who we have first?
Mark with a K.
The avocado cake.
The avocado
baby.
emoji.
I thought this was a brilliant idea.
I thought it was good as well.
Easy to execute and high on the cuteness.
I like the use of the avocado seed.
Stone.
As like a stone, sorry.
Apology accepted.
As like a sort of... I like the idea of that. I thought it was clever.
That was quite good.
But, well...
Messy.
On Deliverance.
Not as cute.
It's cruel to say it's inedible, but it's getting that way.
That was absolute That was, and everyone else in this showstopper, I'd say, did good to great. Like, maybe the worst did sort of fine.
You cannot get that level of feedback on week 1. So if you're coming into week 6, that you're dead. The Yakuza are coming around in the night, taking you out.
Yeah, it's a letdown.
Poor
I thought
Mark.
he's been really. I feel like Mark's been more solid than Hermione.
Yeah.
He's been solid, and I feel like he's been a good character, bringing
good
the
fun, good
banter, always giggling, red cheeks. It's what people like.
Good crack. Irish
crack.
And it goes to show one bad task and you're out.
This is it.
Not even
Which
a
is
bad
why-
week necessarily.
No.
Laura flopped 2 challenges. He flopped 1, but it's a showstopper.
Yeah. If you make an inedible cake
For the showstopper.
for the showstopper,
Got to go.
you've stopped the show for the wrong reason.
For
got to
Paul
pop to have a-
hurl in the toilet.
Yeah, you've got to go pop an Imodium between takes. You fucked up the showstopper.
Oh God.
And then we had Dave.
Who's made a matcha dog cake after his Japanese dog.
He's got a Shiba Inu, because of course he does. What's that, like a 2, 3, 4 grand dog?
Oh,
Yeah,
and
cheap.
the rest.
And the rest, right? Yeah. It was called Yoki, after Yokohama, the city in Japan.
No other explanation for that. He just looked at a map and he...
What should we call that dog from Japan? Tokyo? No. Yokohama? That's too long. Yoki?
It's like if someone in Japan had a British bulldog and they call it Stains.
Oh, Stains the bulldog. Love it.
But he got good. He did a good job.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry. We buried the lead earlier. What point is Slough mentioned again? Oh, it's coming up, isn't it? It's Ermine.
Hermione,
Yeah,
yep.
sorry. Apologies. So creases were a bit of a letdown on Dave's cake. Rosewater and matcha are a surprising combo.
yeah.
I
You'd have liked that, Harry. Rosewater.
Flowers and grass. Yes, please. Taste of the meadow. Febreze.
Spraying it directly on your tongue.
This is great. Tastes like you sprayed some Febreze directly onto your sponge.
Have you not? Could you not be asked to wash your sheets for 2 weeks and you just sodden them with this chemicals instead? Get it in my mouth.
Surprisingly good, he says. Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good for toilet water.
And then Mark with a C makes another dog cake.
The
Hamish
return
the
of-
dog.
We learned about in week 1,
Yeah.
obviously.
His namesake in week 1.
His namesake, which were in retrospect, it feels a bit like he was trying to force a nickname that never quite took. Like, guys, I know I'm Mark, but you can call me Hamish. Why?
After his dog.
Because my dog's called that?
Very
Why would I call
important
you what
dog.
your fucking dog's called, you adult male? Anyway, he had some good tahini, ginger, and lemon.
That is
Another
bold.
surprisingly good combo, right?
Yeah.
Tastes
I like
unexpected.
the sound of that. Mm.
I can't even imagine what that will taste like.
Yeah,
Hello.
neither can I.
Mark, with a C, if you're listening, if you can bake that cake for us, let us know.
And then,
And then we had Lottie.
Yeah, which I think is another example of the showstopper taking precedence because she is Star Baker and she wasn't the best throughout, but she made, and I think she was right to be Star Baker, she made a genuine showstopper. She made a unique cake that everyone sort of did the same sponge. She did something different,
Jiggle
more
cake.
difficult, and she pulled it off. And I think you got to get Star Baker for that.
Yeah. Into the Japanese woods. And it was like a wobbly. So how you know it's baked is it wobbles. and it was
It was very
Toadstool.
quiet, very cute.
it jiggles. It tastes stunning. The sponge is amazing. Paul Hollywood said, "Last time I had a sponge like that, I was in Japan
Doesn't get
With a
better.
drag queen eating a
drag-
jiggle cake.
having a shit time, but earning that Channel 4 dollar. Contractually obliged to be there." Yeah,
I feel like the
So-
jiggle cakes are another sort of thing you'd see on Instagram, you know?
yeah. It's like, oh, cool. It wobbles.
It's so jiggly.
Jigglypuff.
And now we come to the main event, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Ermine.
Slough cherry blossom cake.
Yeah.
It's got to be Japanese themed. Well, I'm going to take you to Slough, she
Yeah.
says.
Close your eyes. Sean, have you ever been to this Japanese tranquil garden that's in Slough?
No, I haven't. For the listener, I'm born in Slough, lived in Slough for most of my life, but I'm
Born
yet
and raised.
to come across the Japanese garden in Slough. I wouldn't even
I'm
know
gonna
where to
Google
start
it.
with that. I tried to Google it, I couldn't find anything. I also looked on Twitter, and everyone from Slough was going like, "Where is this Japanese garden?" I can't imagine. The closest I've come to a Japanese garden was someone once threw a plant at my head whilst I was riding my bike past them. That is the closest.
Was it a
we
terracotta?
got.
Terracotta army? Or is that China? That's China, isn't it?
It's China, very different. But I think
Yeah,
someone must have
sorry.
thrown a piece
Well-
of at my head on my bike. The closest we've got to like having some sort of garden. No. Have you any luck, Harry?
No, there's nothing. It doesn't exist.
Hermione, what a weird thing to make up.
I reckon she's just seen like a sort of Japanese looking tree in a park
Yeah.
and said, this is a Japanese garden. All it is coming up with the Japanese garden in Holland Park, if you've ever been there.
I've been there. Lovely.
Very tranquil.
Yeah. Maybe she just watched a bit of Karate Kid on a lunch break once, and she was like, "That was it."
This was about her lunch. Yeah, because she said she used to go to this made-up Japanese garden on her lunch break.
Yeah, what a ruse to make.
There is definitely, like, of all the places to say there was a Japanese garden. Oh god, I don't know whether.
If anyone's been to it, if anyone knows about it, please let us know. Tweet at us.
I think for our American listeners, I should probably contextualize Slough.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah.
In the year 2006, there was an ITV drama about the bombings in Belfast, the Troubles, and they chose the place that most resembled that was where I lived in Slough. So where I lived was reminiscent to the IRA infested.
So where a city decimated by terrorist attacks
Yeah,
in the 90s,
yeah,
where that looked present day,
it
was
yeah, Britwell
untouched by terrorism. Slough.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Good to know.
It's the opposite of a Japanese garden.
But if you need office space, Slough.
Yeah.
It's a place to be. It's
Oh,
got
yeah.
more head offices in Slough than France and than Scotland and Wales combined.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's just business parks, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing there.
If you
gonna
need
have,
a
Big Tesco.
parking space, big Tesco.
Does it have a Wagamama's? Is there a
No, we've got three
Itsu?
Nando's.
Is there an Itsu?
We've got three Nando's. A Subway.
In one or separate?
Separate, I think. Or it might just be two. But we've got multiple Nando's and a Greg's and the Subway. I think that's it.
Pretty good.
Everything you'd need.
They do a lot of baking in Subway, baking on site.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Eat fresh.
It'd be good if we got sponsored by
Always eat.
Subway, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
Should we just start saying eat fresh a lot?
Hey guys, eat fresh. Speaking of eat fresh, why don't I head down to tomorrow's Thursday, Wednesday's sub of the day. It's going to be the meatball marinara, $1.99.
Oh, that Peter's. That Peter
participating subways.
Eat fresh. Just
Oh yeah.
add it to the end of everything.
Next, we had Peter, who made a
Well, we
dizzy.
didn't actually talk about Ermine's cake.
Oh,
which
it was spooky.
didn't look like. It's spooky. It looked like something like the Ring.
It was actually very beautiful, though.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
but not kawaii.
It wasn't cute.
No.
So again, she's sort of off brief, but she's made a cake that tastes nice, looked good, but not on brief. So she's safe, but she's not going to get.
Prue said to her, "You're a very good French baker,"
because she's just made a French cake.
Yeah, and then popped a geisha on the side of it. And then we had Peter.
Dizzy shuttlecock cake.
Dizzy the shuttlecock.
I must have been doing something else when this was tasted, because the only feedback I've written was shit.
I've got here, it said, never had a cake with that texture. It's a hell of a chew.
I feel
and
like
it needed more powerful flavors to counteract how chewy it was.
Yeah. Because didn't Peter describe it earlier as like a kitchen sponge? Texture of a kitchen sponge?
Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
You get what you pay for. Fair enough.
Exactly. And then he kept just trying to be like, oh, it's really cute. So he was like, oh, she's been hit in the head. She's had a wee bump.
Oh, yeah.
Cuting it up.
See
That's how he lures you in with a nice cake. He's like, who's the one that lured the kids in with the sweets?
Jimmy Savile?
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah. yeah.
The Pied Piper?
Pied Piper. No, he gets the no. Who's it Hansel and Gretel that they follow the sweets and then the woman cooks them?
Yeah, she's cooking them up, and then they die, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
Everyone dies in the end.
You've been listening to Breaking Bad. Anyway, that's all good.
Don't forget, eat fresh.
And then we had Laura,
who was out the door at this point, I'd say.
Yeah, she nearly walked away from this. She had to get a pep talk from Noel.
Yeah, she was like, "It looks shit. There's a hole in it. I'm out. Got out the bloody door." And he said, "Doesn't even look bad."
Yeah,
I'm gonna
go to my pizza oven. Yeah. Upside down pineapple cake,
and that was I like that concept. I think it was fun because you got your pineapple upside down cake, which they have made on this already, the series, and she made an upside down pineapple.
They didn't famously received in a callback, which you get an extra point for comedically.
Yeah, it was good and it looked fun. I thought it was brilliant, and then it tasted great.
Yeah. Citrusy yuzu pineapple. She saved it. I wrote she saved herself. I saw it and she looked relieved.
Yeah. But I still think, even though if Mark did an average job, if he just made an edible cake, I think Laura would have still gone home after that because she was so bad, but it just flipped.
What Mark did is he signed his own death sentence because they tried one and they were like, it's not that good. And then he said, how about the other one?
Oh, yeah.
Which they weren't even going to try. And it was then.
Yeah. Even worse, he said.
When he took a spoonful of that rancid avocado cake.
Yeah.
Cut your losses, mate. Cut your losses.
On Paul Hollywood's 100th episode, delivered an inedible cake, unforgivable.
Yeah.
And there was some controversy behind the scenes during this point because, Sean, I don't know what you thought when you saw these messages flying in. Harry came in bold as brass.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
I made a big call.
I'm calling it. No one's going home this week.
Look, I can't remember if they still do that on Bake Off, but there's usually always
they have done it. Yeah, and they've sent 2 people home as well.
Yeah, and I just thought this could be the one because Laura should have been gone, and then she saved herself, so she couldn't go.
Yeah,
Mark cocked up the last, but I feel like he was a good character and he didn't fully deserve to go. So I felt they might send no one home. But I was wrong.
And I thought when Matt was doing his chat, I thought he was about to do like and no one's going home this week. Because I was like,
I got in your head.
But no, Mark with the K is gone. Tears at the end.
Big tears.
I thought a bit harsh. Prue was like, I thought Laura was going to go. It's like, well, send her home then.
Yeah.
Send them both home.
Imagine that. And Lottie was Star Baker, as we've mentioned earlier. There was a little bit at the end, which I feel like answered some questions we had in previous episodes. Lottie mentioned a practice tent.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that makes me think they probably are staying in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have access to a practice tent so they can practice during the week. What do you think of that?
That's great.
Oh,
but also, I feel like added time to play mind games with each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I would get annoyed. Like, I would probably practice a couple of times. Really, my sort of technique in life would be like, try it a couple of times. If it's all right, it's not perfect, I'd be like, I'll wing it on the day.
Yeah, or just do stuff you can practice in your hotel room. Harry's making a cake in a kettle.
Ross has made Tetris from shortbread.
There's a lot of
Ross has got pre-packaged shortbread in.
Walker. Oh, he's even inserted the wraps. Yeah, the packaging.
There's a nice thing between them behind the magician's sleeve.
Yeah.
Up the wizard's sleeve.
Up the wizard's sleeve, yeah.
What do we have next week?
80. I got love for you if you were born in the 80s.
The 80s.
Yeah, the 80s week.
That's a new one as well, isn't it? I don't think we've had that.
That's mad. What is that? What is it going to be? Prawn cocktails?
Angel Delight.
Ooh,
that's maybe not 80s actually, but yeah. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. So yeah, I don't know now. I don't know who's going to go. Do you think Laura's going to go next week?
Laura could go. Laura's had more bad weeks than good weeks. She was Star Baker, but other than that, she was pretty bad. And then she was nearly gone this week. Yeah, I feel like...
I think Ermine could go.
She could, but I feel like she's found her stride a little. I feel like they've all kind of figured out how to not completely cock up a bake. Mm-hmm. Whereas I still feel Laura has a cock up in her.
Phrase that sentence. I got that isolated. That's good. We've all had a cock up in her. No, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think Laura's gone. No, I don't know. I reckon Dave might. I think it's going to be one of them ones where you're like, Dave, what?
No way. Dave is practicing. Dave's getting stronger and stronger every week. I think it could be Ermine. It could be Laura. And it could be Mark with a C. Who's the only Mark now?
I'm going to throw a curveball. What about Peter? I think he's the only one there who wasn't born in the 80s. Yeah. Is that going to be?
Oh, yeah. Everything's going to be irrelevant to him.
He's going to make breast milk cake.
Wait a minute, I watched Last Action Hero or Terminator. He's like, I've stayed up all week watching John Hughes films. I think I understand now. Like, chill out, Peter. Stop trying so hard.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And it's at the end of the episode, guys.
We're at the end of the app.
Wow.
Yeah, done. Another episode down. Pamela's
Japan week done.
Russ is taking Pam the dog out, named after Pam from The Office. I heard.
He's actually just been out. She's just come back, and she's being particularly cheeky because she loves Pop-Tarts and she's not had any.
Oh, I
She
thought she
knows
was a
that
big
I've still
Bake
got
Off
one
fan.
left.
Well,
Guilty
Bacon
mission.
Fan.
She does love the Bake Off. Yeah, big time. I actually tried to put a headphone by her ear once, not of me, just when I was on a call to see if she would listen. She didn't like that. There you go. A bit of inside baseball for you there.
I once tried to give Dog some Iron Brew. Did not like that either.
Oh.
Yeah, you
No, she doesn't
think.
like fizzy drinks. All right. Well, thank you as always, listener, for listening in, leaving us reviews.
Yeah, leave us some 5-star reviews.
Leave some 5-star reviews, please. Even if you hate it, just put 5 stars and then just put nasty things in there. That's fine, but we need the 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars are key.
Feel free to tweet it as any feedback, positive or negative.
Positive, negative. Yeah,
Positive to me, negative to Ross.
More than happy to take that. At Ross Drummond. Positive to at Harry Monaghan. You can find us at the Jerk Store. Put the YouTube link in the description as well. All the episodes are up on there if you want to watch our faces as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I'll get some music on.
What have you got this week, Ross?
I don't know. What should we have for Mark with a K leaving?
I was thinking some sort of Japanese.
Oh, that's good. I was going to go for what bands are from Northern Ireland? The Boomtown Rats.
Ash.
Maybe the Wipers turning Japanese.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Classic traditional Japanese music.
Classic. I mean, as traditional as a burger steamed bun. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Eat fresh.
Bye.
I think this song is a banger. Genuine banger. I got your picture of me and you.